Hey guys, so this is our last video on soil. We have already talked about what soil is, what it's made of, what are the different types of soil, what are the different layers of soil. But today we're going to be talking about where soil comes from, how is soil created, and also what would happen if soil starts to go away? What would we do without it? And what causes soil to go away? So we're going to be talking about that today. So, how is soil made? Soil is made through a process called weathering. What is weathering? It is the wearing away or breaking down of rocks into smaller pieces. So this is how soil is created. So weathering is caused by rain, wind, water in streams or rivers, and changes in the temperature. Now you guys have seen a river. As it goes around all the curves, it is bumping up against the rock, the bedrock from that river. And as it goes across, it is breaking down the rock and pushing little pieces of the rock down into the water. And those rivers and streams are going to carry that water into the ocean. And that's why in the ocean, at the very bottom of the ocean, what do you find? Sand. And sand is a type of soil made up of those tiny pieces of rock. And those pieces of rock are coming from the rivers and the streams, pushing that rock away and breaking it down. It's weathering it. Now, weathering does not have anything to do with the weather, with rain or sun or cloudy or whatever. Weathering is having to do with the breaking down of those rocks. Another word for weathering, and another thing that's very similar to weathering, is something called erosion. Now, erosion is when water and wind move soil from one place to another. So if you are sitting in your house and you've got a big dirt pile in front of your house from digging out, maybe you dug a hole in your backyard to bury your treasure. The wind is going to blow and that dirt pile is going to start blowing away. The wind is going to move that dirt, move that soil somewhere else. That's called erosion. That's when the wind and water move that soil from one place to another. Water can cause crumbly soils to be washed away and carried away in rivers or streams. That's what I was talking about with the ocean, how that sand is gotten there because the rivers and streams broke down the rock and brought it down into the ocean. Wind can cause dry soil to blow away, like what I talked about with the dirt. If the wind is going to blow, that dry soil is going to blow away. If you've ever been to the beach and you're sitting on the beach and the wind blows and the sand comes up and flies in the air and gets in your eyes, that's called erosion. If too much soil is carried away, though, plants won't be able to grow. So if we look right here, this picture right here is from where there used to be maybe a river. The Grand Canyon is a great example of this. Now, we actually think the Grand Canyon was caused by erosion and weathering from the Great Flood, where the big flood, Noah's flood, pushed all this water through and it broke down the rocks. It pushed it hard enough where it made holes and pathways in the rock for the water to go through. Now, this is all really hard, solid rock. And because all of the good nutrient soil has been pushed away by the wind or the water or whatever caused this erosion, there's not enough soil, not enough nutrients for plants to grow. So with too much erosion, plants aren't going to grow. And if plants don't grow, then animals don't have food, or we don't have food. And if the animals don't have food, then we don't have the meat to eat and we don't have the plants to eat if the soil isn't there. So that soil is actually very important. So we have to be careful not to cause any erosion and to stop erosion when it's happening. So one thing, I can show you these pictures from the book. Right here, we have rainwater causing soil to wash away. Each time it rains, the ditch will get deeper and wider. So from rainwater going over and over and over again, it is causing a pathway in these rocks, a little river in these rocks. Now, this is not a river that was there. This isn't a hole that they dug up. This is from rain constantly falling and pushing itself through these rocks and breaking them down. And here we can see wind. It's blowing the soil off of a field. If you've ever seen a sandstorm, it's similar to that, where the wind is going to blow and it's going to push that soil away. So we've also talked about soil and how it's used. Soil is actually a resource. What it means is that it is something that we use, something that people need. It has the nutrients that all living things need in it. And if it's blown away or washed away or we clear it out, then it's not going to grow. Then plants are not going to grow. So we really, really need to protect the soil that we have because we need it to survive. All right, so your job is to complete the exit ticket that is beneath this video in the next step. Then what you're going to do is you're going to read your pages in your book, and you are going to study those pages. You can rewatch my videos. You can go through and you can read this whole book. I have it all attached below in the materials if you want to go back and read the whole thing. I also have a study guide on there and a review PowerPoint for you, and also this PowerPoint that I've been using. You can review the different concepts with soil, the different vocabulary words that we've talked about, review those, and then tomorrow, or even if you feel ready for it today, take your soil test and show me what you know. All right, guys, it's been fun. The next thing we're going to be learning about is plants. So once we finish up soil, we'll talk about plants, and I'm really, really excited for that. All right, thanks, guys. Bye.